An Australian woman whose asbestos-related cancer was misdiagnosed twice and only discovered while holidaying overseas says doctors and patients need to be more aware of the symptoms. There's concern this case was not an isolated incident.
2 months ago, Ruth Rose and her husband were getting ready for the trip of a lifetime, travelling the iconic Route 66. But when she got off the plane in the US, she could barely breathe.
Well, I was shocked to find that I had a chest cavity full of fluid, because it never entered my head. That was the problem.
Her lung had collapsed and a biopsy revealed she had mesothelioma, a terminal cancer almost exclusively caused by asbestos.
It was like I was outside my body, that it was happening to somebody else and not me.
Ms Rose was exposed to the toxic substance in the 1970s and 80s when she lived in Wittenoom, a town built around an asbestos mine that was ultimately closed after growing health concerns. Twice in the week leading up to her trip, the 75-year-old had sought help from her GP and emergency department for chest pain and shortness of breath, both common symptoms of mesothelioma.
They were so busy, short-staffed. We did the ultrasound, and they said, double your Nexium and go home, you're fine. No chest x-ray.
On the second occasion, a day before she flew out, paramedics cleared her to fly, citing a pulled muscle as the likely problem. The Asbestos Diseases Foundation of Australia says Ms Rose's experience isn't an isolated incident. It says diagnosis is often difficult because the symptoms are confused with other conditions like asthma and emphysema.
Highlights the fact that most GPs in this day and age, even with all the publicity about the dangers of asbestos, can still misdiagnose an asbestos-related disease.
Having vigilance and the patient saying that they had exposure helps to raise red flags.
The foundation's also concerned awareness of asbestos is slipping. After spending 11 days in a New York hospital, Ruth Rose is now home and coming to terms with her grim prognosis.
Well, I'm going to have the biggest party you can imagine and invite all my friends. I don't want them celebrating after I've gone. I want to celebrate my life with them.
Determined to make the most of the time she has left. Georgia Hitch, ABC News.